kitten. I'm so sorry, kitty. Okay. Hello, dog. Good morning, everyone. I am just sending out invites. Boom. Done and done. Okay. So again, we are live on TikTok, obviously, and on YouTube, TikTok, YouTube. In case you haven't met. Okay, let me pull up the comments here. Feel free to share the live if you would. If you know anybody who's stuck in a tiny living space or a tiny just space at the moment in their car, at work. Hello, dog. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we live? It's now your turn. For a dog who doesn't like to be on camera, you sure like to get on camera. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. All right. So, hello. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. And this is my tiny yoga class. Tiny yoga for everybody and every space. I actually designed this class in part because I wake up in the morning sometimes with really limited mobility. And many times I am living full-time in an RV or in another tiny living space. And for many years, I used my tiny living space as an excuse not to practice. Turns out that was a bunch of baloney. Turns out you can create a whole lot of space using the practices of yoga and just the edge of your seat. It can be a chair, it can be the seat of your car. It's a little bit limited in the seat of your car because we are going to kind of move our knees and move our legs around a little bit. So if you've got the edge of your car and you can open the door and sit out the door at the moment, I know it's rainy and cold, you can also do some of the poses a little bit more effectively. And it's the idea that we actually don't need a ton of external space to create a really big amount of internal space. And so that's what these classes are really about. Let's make some physical space, let's get some kinks out, let's warm into our body, and then let's create some space within as well. So this week there's a couple of things that are influencing the flow for today. So we've been sitting with the Bhairava Mudra. The Bhairava Mudra is the mudra for fierceness and is done like so, simply placing your right hand in your left in your lap. This is another foundational mudra for meditation and assists us in cultivating the courage to release ego clinging. It is the calm, centered style of fierceness that is akin to sitting in the eye of the storm. Having that kind of ferocity, but not having to move a single muscle to cultivate it, to allow it to be. It simply is existing all around you. So that's what this Bhairava Mudra does. Now that's the masculine side of this mudra. This mudra has a feminine side as well, and that feminine side is done by placing your left hand in your right. So it's the same concept, except this side is invoking the fierceness from the divine feminine. So this would be the divine masculine with your right hand in your left, the divine feminine with your left hand in your right. Now, we sat with this mudra, the Bhairava, on Monday, Bhairavi, which is the feminine version, on Wednesday, and today we are going to finish our practice with either one. So at the end of our practice, we're going to sit in meditation, and it's up to you to choose the Bhairava, which is right hand in left, or Bhairavi, which is left hand in right. But we are going to move our body and use this flow to balance both the divine masculine and feminine as they exist within us. That was a really wordy intro. Let's get the heck into it, right? Let's start moving. Stop talking, dude. Let's start moving. I'm just excited to tell you guys all about the things because it's fun. Okay. When you have found yourself a seat, it can be a chair, your office chair, a chair in your car, the edge of your bed, the edge of your couch, a park bench, wherever it is that you can find, go ahead and wiggle towards the edge of your seat and plant your feet barefoot or shoed or what have you. If you have high heels, do me a favor and take your high heels off if it's available to you and you can kick them off for just a moment. It's going to help you ground out much better. Go ahead and plant those feet flat on the ground. Rest your palms face down on your thighs, close your eyes, and we will begin with 3 deep breaths to fully arrive for our practice. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath in through the lungs and down into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale once more, inhale again, lift to the heart and elongate the spine. And release. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And let it go. We're going to move down from head to toe. And I encourage you to just kind of feel into the muscles in your body and move the way that feels right to you. Beginning with the head, you can go ahead and do a couple of circles in one direction. And then switch. You might choose alternately to tilt your head side to side, dropping one ear to each shoulder. Make sure that when you do this, please, you release the tension in your shoulders, allowing them to hang naturally by your sides. Are your shoulders really by your sides? By the sides of your neck, they sure are. Or maybe tilting your chin up and down. Again, we're not overextending here. We're not trying to overstretch. We're not even trying to find the edge. We're just kind of warming up the muscles, just feeling into the muscles. So just be aware, just be present with the muscles of the neck as you roll your head around, as you move your head, keeping your shoulders relaxed. And when you're ready, come back to center. And then we'll move down to the shoulders. Go ahead and roll your shoulders one way or the other. Again, just kind of feeling into them. You can roll them the same direction at the same time. You can alternate forwards or backwards. Just remember to leave the arms hanging. Warming up the shoulders. Pull those shoulders all the way up to your ears for a second, and then release them. Pull them up to your ears again, and release. Once more, inhaling as you pull them up to your ears, and let it go. Now we'll do some torso circles, and at any point here, you can go ahead and open your eyes if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can keep your eyes closed. I find that keeping my eyes closed really helps me get into my body much more. So go ahead and do some torso circles in one direction and the other. Just a couple on either side. Warming up the spine, the muscles in your sides, and your belly. Now we'll move to the legs, windshield wipering the knees. You can leave your hands on your knees or you can place them on the chair to balance and just drop your knees back and forth, side to side. Just feeling into the muscles in the thighs and the knees. Try to keep your feet planted so you're really just kind of moving the legs from the ankle up. And then go ahead and come back to center, bringing your knees shoulder width apart at a 90-degree angle. And then feel into the full bottom of your foot. Maybe begin with the heel and roll to the outside of the feet, along the outside ridge of both feet. Putting pressure into the pinky toe, and the next toe, and the next toe, and the next toe, until you get to the big toe. Putting pressure in the big toe, rolling around to the insides of the feet, putting pressure along the side of the ball of the foot, back to the heel, leveling the feet out, pressing into the heel and into the ball, alternating, just gentle pressure. We're not even lifting the feet off, just gentle alternating of pressure between the ball of the foot and the toes, and then back to the heel. Tiny movements, creating space within the body, and in this moment, in the feet. And go ahead and give your toes a little wiggle, and then relax your feet. And for just a moment, pause. Pause to scan the body and notice the warmth that was generated just by making those little movements. We didn't do anything strenuous. We didn't even push our edges. We just moved our awareness and our attention into the body and wiggled it back into our meat suit. Take a moment. Just be with the body. So in line with our mudra, we are going to do a couple rounds of sun salutation followed by lion's breath. So you can keep your eyes closed if you know how to do this flow. If not, go ahead and peek, and then you can close them when you feel comfortable. Bring your palms together at your heart, and we will move slowly through the first one, and then we will move a little bit quicker through the next two. Hands together at your heart. Inhale, take a deep breath in, and release. On your next inhale, send your hands up to a small back bend, and then exhale your arms all the way down for a forward fold. See if you can touch your feet. Exhale. Inhale, back up to seated. Exhale, release. Inhale, interlock your fingers underneath your right thigh. Exhale, bring your thigh up. Inhale, create a little space by arching the back. And exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back down to the ground. Other leg, Inhale, interlacing those fingers. Inhale, bringing the thigh all the way up. Create a little space. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, foot flat on the ground. Palms together as you exhale. Inhale, arms back up for a small arch. Exhale all the way down. And inhale back up to neutral. Exhale, release. All right, 2 more rounds of those, and then we're going to do a couple of rounds of lion's breath. This is going to be balancing the divine masculine. This is the solar energy, the solar plexus, the sun, solar energy, the masculine energy, the yang energy in the body. Okay, 2 more rounds. So go ahead and inhale, bring your hands, palms together, inhale, exhale, and begin on your inhale by sending your hands up for a small back bend. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, back up. Exhale to neutral. Interlace the fingers under the right thigh. Inhale the right thigh up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale the right thigh down. Interlace the fingers under the left thigh. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, forward to knee. Inhale, back up. Nice long spine. And exhale, placing the right knee or left knee back down. Foot back down on the ground. Inhale, palms together. Slight back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back up to center. 1 more round. We're going to go a little bit faster, and we're going to, okay. What a morning. Okay. Palms together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up to center. Exhale. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come back up. And release your sun salutations. Take a moment to pause. And again, just notice the quality of your internal experience. Notice the sensations in your body, the quality of your muscles, the quality of your breath, the quality of your mind and your spirit at the moment, of your heartbeat. And while you're scanning the body, I invite you to look for anything that might still feel a little kinked, a little stuck, a little sticky, a little tight. Anywhere that seems to still be a little gunked up. Pay attention to that part of the body. And breathe into that part of the body. Imagine that with each inhale, the breath is going into that part of the body. For me, there's a bit in my right low back. So I'm inhaling to that spot in my low back and exhaling, audibly blowing the breath out my mouth. Inhale into that spot and exhale. If you got a couple of spots, just feel free to scan with each of them and move the breath throughout them. You can send the breath to all of them at once as well. Now we're going to intensify this practice just a little bit. I invite you to tiptoe your feet out a little bit wide, so you've got kind of a wider seat now. Your knees are pointing out a little bit, about a 45-degree angle from the body. Rest your hands on your knees. And again, focusing on the breath, pulling the breath, the inhale into wherever it is that you're still feeling stuck or tight. And then as you exhale, I invite you to invoke lion's breath. So lion's breath is done like so. You may take a full deep inhale, and then when you exhale, you give the full big cat roar face. And we do this to release stuck energy. Inhale the breath into this area that's stuck or still feeling tight. And as you exhale, send that energy out. Inhale again. One more. And release the breath. Again, checking in for a moment on the quality of your breath, body, and being. Settle into this moment, having released at least a degree of excess masculinity, excess solar energy, excess yang energy. Bringing our solar plexus back into balance with the rest of the body. Rest in this space for a moment. And when you are ready, I invite you to tiptoe your feet out just a little bit wider as we move into a variation of moon salutation. So now we are going with the left side, or the feminine side of the Bhairavi mudra, with our left hand in our right, and we are going to bring balance to the yin energy in our body, the sacral energy in our body, the feminine energy in our body, the moon, the lunar energy in our body. So begin again. We're going to go slowly first, and then we'll move a little more quickly through the next two. Bring your palms together at your heart. Dog, I don't know if that's the best spot to be. And you'll inhale and exhale. Inhale, small back bend. Exhale the arms out to cactus, which is a 90-degree, palms forward, fingers spread wide. Inhale again. And exhale, bring your left elbow to your left knee and reach your right arm over your left, creating a nice stretch in that right side of the body. Take a couple of breaths here. Just creating some space in the left side of the body. You can gaze forward, you can gaze down at your knee, or you can gaze up towards the ceiling past your armpit. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. And now the other side. Inhale, drop your right knee, elbow to your right knee. Bring your left arm up and over for a nice stretch in that left side body. Again, you can turn your head towards your knee, facing forward, or ideally up towards the ceiling if it's available to you. Take a couple of breaths here, feeling a nice stretch in that left side body. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Release. Now I invite you to bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee, palm facing forward, the back of your hand onto your left knee. And then as you inhale, you can even reach for your right hand, bring your palm to your left hand. And then as you inhale, inhale that right hand all the way up the length of your arms until you twist and turn towards the right side of the body. So this opens up the chest, and you're putting a little pressure in that left thigh to help turn the upper body, turn the torso. A nice big twist with the upper body towards the right. And exhale back to center. Same thing with the left. Or the right, it's opposite side. Bring the right hand, back of the right hand to the right knee, palm open. Bring your left hand to meet that one. And as you inhale, drag your left hand all the way across your arm and shoulders, extending out towards the left side, putting a little pressure in that right knee so that you can really get a nice twist. And exhale back to center. Inhale, bring the hands together. And as you exhale, I invite you to come off of your seat and see how long you can stand here in a squat with me without losing your breath. Stay here, strong thighs, strong pelvic floor. Steady, slow, steady breaths. Inhale and release back to your seat. Relax, exhale to relax your arms. All right, so we're gonna go through that flow a little bit faster this time. Instead of pausing for that right, left side body stretch, which we just really needed in that first round, we're gonna move a little bit faster. We're gonna do 2 more rounds. Okay. Palms together, inhale, exhale. Inhale for a back bend. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lean to the left for a sides body stretch. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left body stretch. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left, back of left hand to the left thigh. Bring your right hand back. Smack that hand. Inhale, arm all the way up and out for a nice stretch. Nice twist. Exhale, back to center. Right hand, back of right hand to the right knee. Give yourself a high five. Inhale that left hand up and around for a nice big twist. Open the chest, open the heart space. And exhale back to center. Inhale, bring the palms together. And exhale, lift off your seat and stand in a nice goddess squat. As you stand in this position, keeping the thigh muscles, using the thigh muscles to keep yourself upright, I invite you to see if you can relax the pelvic floor here. Try not to hold your butt tight. Try not to hold your perineum. Just breathe slow and steady. Wiggle your toes a little bit so you're not putting too much pressure down on your feet. One more breath, inhale. And exhale back down slowly to your seat. And release the hands. Okay, one more. You guys ready? One more modified moon salutation. Palms together. Inhale, exhale to begin. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, stretch to the left. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, stretch to the right. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left hand to left thigh. High five. Right arm all the way across for a nice open twist. Exhale into your twist. Inhale again. And exhale back to center. Inhale, right hand to your right thigh. High five. Low five, actually. Left hand across the body as you inhale into a nice, wide, open chest opening twist. Exhale in your twist. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Inhale those palms together. And exhale, lift off your seat. Get into that nice, strong goddess pose. Wiggle your toes. We are not leaning into the toes. We're not gripping the floor with our toes. Keep your palms gently pressed together. The only tension in your body is your intention to stay in this pose. Release, relax as much as possible every other muscle in your body while staying in this goddess pose. We're going to stay here for a few moments, so feel free to close your eyes, focus on your breath. Releasing tension, allowing only the intention. Inhale, exhale. Once more. Inhale and release to your seat. And come back to center. Rest your palms facing up for a moment on your thighs. If you'd like to, you can tiptoe your knees back together. Take a couple of big, deep, cleansing breaths. And then to close our practice, I invite you to bring your palms together into the, not your palms together, your hands together into either the masculine version, the Bhairava Mudra, or the Bhairavi Mudra, which is your left hand in your right is Bhairavi. Masculine is right hand in left. Whew. That got me breathing on that last one. Okay. So go ahead and choose Bhairava, the masculine form of this mudra with your right hand in your left, or Bhairavi, the feminine version of this mudra with your left palm in your right. Gently rest that in your lap, and then just relax all of the muscles in your body, keeping your spine elongated, heart forward, and without even trying to control the breath, without even trying to do anything, simply be witness, bear witness to the body, to the experience, to the spirit, to whatever emotions are coming up, whatever self-talk may be coming up. Maybe it's just quiet up in there. Gently close your eyes and allow any thoughts or sensations that arise to rise and fall with the breath. The breath has this beautiful natural rhythm of inhale and exhale, ebb and flow. Our thoughts, our sensations, our emotions are just as temporary as our thoughts, as our breath, if we allow them to be. They can rise and fall just as naturally. Take a few moments to just watch the ebb and flow of your experience. I invite you to allow a small smile to spread across your face as you bear witness to your own reality, your own experience. And honestly, the only reality that you really experience is your own experience, right? So give it a nod, give it a smile, give it a thank you for being all that it is. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like. When you feel complete, before we close, there was one last piece I wanted to include in balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We did our lion's breath to release tension, solar energy stuck in the body. And with this recent full moon, the wolf moon, I invite you to call in the wolf and offer in this moment a howl at the moon. I know it's the middle of the day, but a howl at the moon to release any feminine energy stuck in the body, in the spirit, in the heart, in the mind. Feel free to join me. Take a deep breath in. I hope you howled at the moon last night. I hope you howl at the moon again tonight. I hope you howl to release your sadness, sorrow, and frustration. I hope you breathe to release your anger. May these practices resonate within you. May you carry them forward so that they may serve you in your time of need. When you feel complete, I invite you to bring your hands together in prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for these divine meat bags that we get to wander around these lives in, that house our divinity, that house our souls, that house our hearts and our minds. So much gratitude for this vessel. And so much gratitude for the life force that flows through it. Offer yourself a little gratitude too for taking the time for self-care today. You are so fucking worth it, and I'm really proud of you for making it today, for showing up for yourself. And thank you so much for joining me for this practice. When you're ready to come out, Offer yourself some wiggles, some stretches, some eye wipes. Oh. You guys howl with me? All right, good job, Valerie. Good. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera in a little bit closer here. Oh. So at this point, let's see. Bye-bye to YouTube. I will post the rest of it later, guys. So replays get posted on YouTube. But we usually hang out here in TikTok for the chit-chat fun afterwards. And then I do upload a lot of these to TikTok as well, or not TikTok, to YouTube as well. So if you liked the conversation and you missed the conversation, you can always go find that there too. Oh, puppy shoes. Thank you. You're very welcome, Tanya. Let me see if I can go back and catch up on some comments here, guys. Thank you for all the follows, everyone. Miss Shandy Fisher, if you're still here, I totally hear you. Lower back surgery. Well, you know, I have a bunch of replays for Tiny Yoga, like I said, on YouTube, and there are some a little more gentle flows. This one was a little bit more intense, mostly because of the energy of this week, because we had the full moon last night, and because we've been working with the fierceness mudra this week to cultivate the courage to release ego clinging, right? To release our attachments. And we need a degree of fierceness to be able to do that, to be able to concisely decide, not for me. For me, not for me. Hey, Divya, how are you? Yeah, I'm a Minnesota mom. I've got a couple of weeks of Tiny Yoga since like December or November. So we've been doing this class, right? So there are a bunch of replays there on YouTube. You can also find Bhakti Bites replays. The only replays I don't post are our subscriber only Astro Live sessions, mostly because they're subscriber only. And until I get a YouTube subscriber thing going over there, those are exclusively for you lovely subscribers here on TikTok. And I love you guys for it. Is Leo a part of the moon this month? Yes. So the full moon yesterday was in the sign of Leo. However, the sun is now in Aquarius, and Pluto is in Aquarius. So we have this really fantastic generational shift. Pluto is about breaking cycles, breaking generational cycles, stepping into kind of the next evolution, right? That's what Pluto does, is it pushes us to evolve. With it moving into Aquarius, out of Capricorn into Aquarius, means that we are going from this like more, again, kind of on the more masculine side of like discipline, nose to the grindstone, like really put your hard work in, which was what Capricorn was about. And then Aquarius is more like, this is when we manifest all of the what happens after all of that work. My words are not present today. Oh, sure. Yeah, Divya, that sounds great. We can talk about that. Yeah, so the energy of this moon, it's a moon in Leo and the wolf moon. And I found that really, really telling about the energy in regard to what's going on this week. I love you too, Luciano. Think of that, all the similarities between the wolf and the lion, right? Both pack animals, both have a sense of pride and protection. Both are predators, fierce predators indeed. However, conversely, they can also be extremely sweet and caring, and they actually like they exist on both ends of that spectrum, right? They're predators with sharp teeth. They're fast. They have claws. They will devour you if they get the chance. But then they will turn around and go back to their pack and be sweet and loving and nurturing to, yeah. So
Both have that energy, and both walk in both the day and the night too, right? And this is called a wolf moon because apparently, this time of year was midwinter. Wolves are getting hungry, I guess, and this is when you're hearing the wolves most often in the winter. Is the old wives' tale, I guess, old story, right? The folk tale about why they call it a wolf moon. But also, there's this piece that I feel like sometimes people talk about the lone wolf, right? And they go, "Oh, wolf. Well, I'm a lone wolf." What's interesting is that even lone wolves are only temporarily lone wolves. Lions that get kicked out of their pack are temporarily by themselves, or they don't survive. So we have this funny Western idea where we look at wolves and lions and we're like, "Oh, I'm just this ferocious beast." And you're like, yes, you are, but there's the other side that needs to be balanced with that. There's the masculine ferocity, the fierceness of that masculine, and then there's that nurturing, the fierceness of the feminine nurturing. They have to be equal. You can't lean. I mean, you can, but it equals imbalance, right? It causes struggling, strife, and suffering when we create imbalance within us. And so when we lean so far only into that solar plexus will, into exerting our will onto the world, into making all the decisions and controlling the situation and push what I want out of the world, we completely miss the other half of the gift in that. As an herbalist, it reminds me sometimes of how when we take a piece of the plant away, yes, the medicine, right? Like Western medicine takes medicinal plants and makes a chemical compound and takes the one piece. They're like, aspartame comes from the aspen tree. So we take the bark of the aspen tree and we take it out and we make a chemical compound compared to it, right? Or that's similar to it. And that does the same thing. The reality is that there's a lot of loss that comes with a lot of these plants because with the rest of the plant or other parts of the plant, you get the soothing aspect of it. So if you take one piece of it out, yes, it might do the thing that it's supposed to do, but it doesn't come along with the other pieces that are supposed to, one, direct it to what part of the body to do its work, two, to nurture and soothe as well. And I think that's an interesting piece too, is we can take, there's the masculine, there's the feminine, and then there's the unity of the two. As an herbalist, again, when I make herbal compounds, medicinal compounds, I always make them in threes because there's the action, the nurturing, the soothing, and then there's the direction. And I really don't, and when we put those concepts together, I don't believe we can find our direction unless we have both the action and the nurturing, the pause and the doing and the being, the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the balance of the sun and the moon. And what's so interesting about the time of a full moon is that when you see a full moon, it means that the moon is opposite the sun, right? And so what happens when that's occurring? But everything in our astrology, in all of these aspects in our vision, right, our field of view, are illuminated. So what a full moon does is illuminate the parts of your shadow, the parts that may have been shadowed other times during the cycle, so that you can see them, you can nurture them, not go fight them, not go attack them. Oh, there's that shadow I've been fucking looking for years. I figured it out. I'm gonna go get you. I don't know why I just ate it, but I did. Instead, it's, oh, there's that scared part of me. There's that angry part of me. There's that shadow part of myself that has been gnawing and scratching at the door from behind, right? Go in and meet it. Go in and nurture it. With the gift of it being illuminated is an opportunity for us to meet it where it's at, not to drag it out of its shadow and force it to be in the light, but to go down to it where it is. It reminds me of the movie, What Dreams May Come, right? Is where Robin Williams goes down with his wife into her depression because he realizes that he causes her more pain by trying to pull her out of it. He causes her more struggling and more strife rather than meeting her there. And it's a beautiful, perfect analogy for the way that we meet ourselves gracefully. right? Me too. I know it's been coming up a lot lately. That is how we meet ourselves with grace, not with judgment, not with frustration, anger, not with shame and guilt. All of these energies are contracting energies. All of those energies, all of those shame, guilt, anger, frustration, even things like desire, pull from the finite source of your energy body. They pull from the torus of energy that runs through and around your body. This is your energy source, your vibration, your my words today. Emotions like, or states of being, I should say, like love, acceptance, curiosity, willingness. These are all expansive. Why? Because those energies open our channels, our energy channels. Those other energies, literally you feel your physical body, right? Contract. Voxtor, you don't have to, right? But it's a really good one. What Dreams May Come is what it's called. It's a tearjerker. So be prepared. Bring your box of, of chocolates and tissues and whatever you need. Or maybe you have somebody to snuggle, right? Definitely a good one. You're literally on TV now trying to find it. That's a good way to spend your Friday. I like that a lot. We just have this, so many of us are taught in the Western world how to be gruff with ourselves, how to be curt with ourselves, how to be demanding of ourselves, how to judge ourselves, and all of the ways in which we don't meet everyone else's expectations, and therefore the expectations that we ultimately set for ourselves by proxy of theirs. If you had been hurt so bad that you decided it was not safe to show yourself to the world, and you went and hid inside of the temple that you lived in, you went and hid in some deep dark corner somewhere and just stayed there, watching the commotion happening in the temple, people coming and going, big chaos and whatnot going on, and everybody notices that there's a little something missing. We all feel that little hole in our heart or in our gut. Or it's just like I've forgotten something really important. Or like I can't quite find my way home. If you were that little part of yourself, and someone found you and went, "The fuck are you doing in here? God damn it. I've been looking for you for so many years and I need you to show up and do this job for us. Okay? I know that we can do it. I need you to get out of there. I need you to buck up. God damn it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and let's go to work. Let's go back to being human. Let's heal. We need to heal right now. Get out of the shadows and do it." I sure as shit wouldn't respond well. If I was in a place of feeling hurt and scared and hiding, and someone came to me with that kind of demanding. Now imagine if that same, again, because a lot of these parts of us are still children, are still very young, because most of our big traumas are ingrained in our body at a very young age. Now imagine that if someone came to you like that. Now if someone came to you while you were like that, gentle, soft. "Hi, I see you. We've been looking for you. Do you think you might want to come out? No. You're feeling scared. Okay. Okay. Can I bring you anything? Blueberries? You want some blueberries? Okay. Why don't we go to the store right now and we'll go get some blueberries? I'm not doing anything else." And then you take your happy ass in the car and go get some blueberries. And you sit in your car in the parking lot and you eat your blueberries. And you imagine that little part of yourself is sitting in that little corner eating those blueberries. And I guarantee you, you will have a very different experience with a very different internal experience, a very different experience when trying to meet parts of yourself, when trying to negotiate with parts of yourself, when trying to do things that feel scary or difficult. I have a note up here on my board that reminds me every day. Being scared to do something doesn't mean you can't do that. Do it. And doesn't mean it's dangerous either. Sometimes we develop fears based on things, again, that aren't in the present moment, but our body says, oh, that looks a lot like that thing that happened like 16 years ago, and I'm really afraid it's going to happen again, so let's not do it. Well, no, this is a totally different situation, and we're not young anymore. We're actually this much older, and we're more, come on, let's try it. Yes, I will, Divya, definitely. You catch more, flies with honey than vinegar. It's such a simple concept, right? As most of the most profound messages are, it is so simple. But we're in reality, in the moment, especially when we have been conditioned by our internal and external experiences to behave in certain ways with ourselves, that's our go-to response, right? It's to feel shame when you speak up for yourself. I know that one. I struggle with boundaries because I feel shame every time I put a boundary up. And when somebody crosses the boundary, I still feel shame. Can you fucking believe it? I feel like I'm the bad guy because I set a boundary and they didn't listen to it. And some small part of me goes, oh. And if I'm ever going to take care of that part of me, if I'm ever going to be kind and gentle and really love that part of me, there's two things that need to happen. One, I need to be kind and gentle with her. And I need to apologize to her and do my best in my apology to turn my apology into action. We have a rule here in this house about apologies because we're all human. We all fuck up. And sometimes we're going to fuck up the biggest fuck up in your life. And it was never on purpose, right? Sometimes it is, whatever. We're all human. We all make mistakes. It's not about being perfect. It's not about not making mistakes. It's about what you do when mistakes happen. It's how you make repairs. And so we don't just say, sorry, in this house. We say, I'm sorry. I know that when I raised my voice out of anger or out of frustration over the situation, it really hurt your feelings. And it's not my intention to hurt your feelings. Not that that makes an excuse for it, but I want you to know that that's not what I meant to do, that I was just feeling frustrated and angry and I wasn't paying attention to my actions. And in the future, when I have that feeling, I'm going to try some tools. I'm going to try to take deep breaths. I'm going to try to just step out. And my favorite part of this practice that we've now developed, my son is 7, so he's a little bit older, so we can talk a little bit more about it. So now it's like, and you could help me. Because sometimes when I end up in that frustrated spot, I'm not paying attention and my brain shuts off, right? My prefrontal cortex doesn't actually work anymore when the lower parts of my brain are being activated. I can't actually make very good decisions. So you know what would be really helpful? If maybe we could have a safe word, or maybe you could say, Mom, breathe. I don't know, we can play with it. We can find ways to support each other through our growth, through our expansion, through our learning to love ourselves and each other. Learning to love ourselves through our experiences with each other. With sincerity, a conversation is so much better. Yeah. This hymn. Treat everything with the reverence as if it were God. One of my favorite quotes, it's from, it's a prayer, an album of prayer, of Sanskrit prayers that my son and I listen to every single night. And she sings them in both Sanskrit and in English. And there is a line from one of those songs where she sings, if you don't see God in all, you won't see God at all, at all, if you don't see God in all. You won't see God at all, at all. Sat, karata, sat, karata. Box store, I like that one. Pineapple. Because it is that. If you don't see God that exists, the reality that God exists in everything in the universe, then you're not seeing all of God. It's like looking at the face of the elephant and saying, this is the elephant. All of that, that's not the elephant, just this. Because I like this part. So this part is the elephant. The ass of the elephant? No, that's not the elephant. No. That doesn't exist at all. I'm just going to stand here and stare at the face. We cannot look at God and say, this is God and that's it. And that's all I want to see. And I refuse to see anything else, because you will not see that is not, that is, I think you can really, and I want to take that further. Because on my spiritual path, this was an insight given to me that if you knew, my favorite way to say it, if you knew that this silly little meat bag here, this body that you're stuck with in this life, is actually a temple erected to house divinity. It is your responsibility in this life to house and keep safe your very own little spark of divinity. Because God lives in your heart. God lives in through. God breathes through you, just like Source. God breathes through absolutely everything in the universe. And that life force within you breathes back, right? Think of the way that as I inhale, I'm pulling in breath from the trees. And as I exhale, the trees pull in my breath. If you realized that your meat bag was erected to house divinity, to carry around a spark of God itself, how would you look at it then? How would you treat it then? How would you speak to yourself if you knew that those little scared, worried, voices in your head were also an aspect of God? Just like the whole elephant does not look as pretty as the face, all of these aspects are God. The yin, the yang, the light, the dark, the good, the bad, the dark, right? The duality. But we live in a reality that the illusion of duality, when in reality, God is oneness. All of the things are one. All of these things that make up the thing, right? The analogy that we use about humanity like a body. Imagine humanity like a body. We need the hands to pull us up and pull us forward. We need the ears to listen to our stories. We need the shoulders to cry on and to carry heavy shit. We need the feet to carry us forward, to keep us moving. We need the knees so that we can show our reverence. And we need the asshole to process the shit. And we need the armpits to release the toxins. We need the nose to catch viruses and then get rid of them. So when you come across someone who you said, they're not godly, they're not God. Obviously, they're the devil. They're evil. They're judgment. As soon as you want to cast judgment, I invite you to look at your body, look at the whole elephant, and recognize that some parts are pretty and some parts smell terrible. Some parts are not parts that you want to talk face to face to. Some parts are not parts that you're going to stick your hands in and spend a bunch of time with. I mean, maybe there are, but we need all the parts of the body for it to function properly. I am the light. I am the darkness. I am creation and destruction. Thank you, Dylan. I am a vessel for unity. I'm a vessel for divine oneness. We have this energy torus, this energy body that surrounds our physical body. And that keeps it functioning, honestly, for all intents and purposes. But at the very top, there's an opening in that energy body. And at the bottom, there's an opening in that energy body. Do you know what happens at those openings? An exchange of divinity, of divine energy, of infinite source. And this is what we talk about. I'm going to have to go soon here, actually. Okay, I am going to pause. I'm going to stop there because I have an energetic hygiene workshop coming up next month. And then after that, I have a chakra workshop coming up. So if we want to talk about energy, we're going to be talking about energy for the next couple of months. And I definitely invite you guys to join me on those workshops. The energetic hygiene workshop is going to be coming up in February, like I said, February 12th. It's a 2-week workshop, but it'll be self-paced, and you get a free coaching session with it. So we can go over all the material if you'd like to during that coaching session. And I'm usually pretty flexible about my coaching sessions, about timing and things like that. So, but that said, one of the things I really am excited about this workshop for is because I'm including tantric partner breathing practices because it goes over Valentine's Day. And in the vein of recognizing the divinity within ourselves as well as the divinity within others, recognizing the potential for unity that exists within us and exists with us as a collective, it is an extremely powerful practice. So I invite you, if you have someone who is willing to do the practice from a conscious place, please don't force anybody into doing this practice with you. It's not going to turn out well for you or for them. Please don't do this practice with somebody that you don't know, because unless you have really good protecting and whatnot practices, it may bring on energy that's not great for you. So make sure you do it with a trusted partner, or with a friend. It doesn't have to be a intimate partner. It can also be a friend or a family member, but it is an intimate practice because you are sharing breath. So anyway, it's a really powerful practice, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys. The workshop will open February 12th. I will have it on sale as soon as I finish it. I don't like to do that, like, oh, I'm still working on it, but you have to pay. You can pay for it now. I would rather have it finished. That way, in case I need to postpone it, nobody's waiting on that. So, that said, for the rest of you who do not know me, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. I offer private coaching sessions, private energy work sessions. I do private yoga and private meditations. You can book all of that at Move with Change. If you subscribe here on TikTok, you get our astrology lives Sunday and Friday nights. That's tonight. Sunday and Friday night. Friday nights we talk about natal charts and dive into your natal chart and talk about your natal chart and the astrology in relationship to your energy and your energy body. I do a lot of intuitive astrology and relate it to the energy body and give you tools and practices to assist moving with and through the energies that show up in your chart. So if you'd like to do that, if you'd like to get on that, that is a subscriber only live with no previews, because I like to keep it private since we're talking about people's natal chart and personal stuff. So if you'd like to get that, you can subscribe here on TikTok. On Sunday, we do a weekly peekly Astro Live. So we look at the transits for the week and we talk about what they mean for each sign. And again, that's a subscriber only live. When you subscribe here on TikTok, you get a free month to our budding little community over at Move with Change. It's called the CAYA Sangha, CAYA, stands for Come As You Are, because as we all know, when you're doing this work of discovering the divinity within you, coming home to the temple within you, and really just coming home to yourself and falling back in love with yourself maybe for the first time. It can be beautiful and it can be fucking messy and it can be terrifying, or it can be super goofy, right? Like there's all of these different ways that it can manifest as we learn more and more to be authentic and to sit with our authenticity without being afraid of it, without feeling shame or guilt about it. So CAYA Sangha is the come as you are space that allows you to show up exactly as you are, because authenticity, your authenticity, is the purest expression of your divinity. So that's what we are cultivating. And that's what I invite you to cultivate through the use of all these mindfulness tools that I'm offering to you guys. So if you'd like to catch this replay or any of the other replays that I do, you're going to find them on YouTube at Move With Change. My website is movewithchange.com. You can email me at movewithchange@gmail.com. You can subscribe here on TikTok and you will get a free month to our CAYA Sangha. Members of CAYA Sangha also get twice weekly group coaching. Thank you, Daniel. As well as a Monday practice session to go deeper into any of the workshops or any of the things that we're practicing in Bhakti Bites, Tiny Yoga, or whatever, chakra workshop, energy workshop, right? Kundalini Kriya workshop we're doing right now. And you also get a heavy discount on all of my other private services, as well as open access to every single workshop I do. So when you subscribe as a member over there, it's $77 a month, but you get again, twice weekly group coaching, the once a week practice session where you can come in and honestly ask me about any mindfulness stuff, whether it's a workshop current or mudra from 3 months ago, and you want to revisit it and practice a little bit more. Those are our in-house practice sessions. And then my workshops sell for $299 up until, I think I have one for like $799 that's coming out later this year. Those are completely open to all members over there. So if you want to purchase workshops externally, you don't want to deal with the group coaching, you don't want to deal with the Sangha, you don't want to deal with any of that, that's fine. You can totally purchase the workshops and you get a free coaching session with it. And then I'll help you through the, and you also get a discount code to get a discount on continued services, but it's a one-time code. But if you're a member, heavy discounts on everything that I do. We have such a small community that I get to be really personal with every single community member to whatever degree that they really need it. So we just, in fact, I was just going to say, we had to really amazing, like mini coaching session last night, or mini exploration session last night with myself and 2 members of the CAYA Sangha. And it was so powerful and spectacular. I am really grateful to have this little community. And I invite you to come enjoy it, come experience it, come experience this kind of radical inclusion, this kind of revolutionary kindness, and this kind of to be seen for who you are without judgment, and by people who know what it is to feel like you can't talk to anybody about this stuff, or nobody understands what you're going through, or you don't quite fit anymore in where you used to be, right? Gigi, I love our group sessions too. So anyway, all of that over at CAYA Sangha. So, Yogi, are you referring to Yogi Bhajan? No, I do not follow Yogi Bhajan. We are not, I recognize the value of the many teachers and gurus that have come before us. However, we are in a time and we are in an era of our collective evolution where it is imperative that we recognize we are our own gurus. And yes, we can glean information and knowledge from others. And it's imperative to do so, even to open our minds and our hearts with curiosity and willingness to receive. But once we receive, it is up to us to then decide if that is truly something that is leading us towards the light or away from the light, because that's what guru means, simply that which leads us from darkness to light. So it is up to you as your own guru to discern what's for you and what's not. And there are certain, what's for me is not always going to be for you. Right? And that's why I'm not here trying to like oversales people or force anybody to do something or tell you, you have to. I'm not one of those guys. You have to do this. Otherwise, when the world ends, you're going to end up in some other reality and it's going to be terrible and you won't make it to the 5D. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, y'all. You are exactly where you need to be, exactly who you need to be, exactly when you need to be. If the universe didn't need you exactly as you are, where you are, you wouldn't be here at all. And I think that when we cultivate that trust, it's a lot easier for us to find our authenticity and to express that without judgment, without fear, and without shame. So that's the energy we're cultivating over at the CAYA Sangha. We do not subscribe to any particular religion or any particular dogma or following. But I employ practices and techniques from all over the world. I'm a non-denominational reverend or an interfaith minister. And so we pull from the knowledge and the wisdom of all those who came before, not just a singular lineage, because my perspective is not better than yours. My wisdom is not better than yours. It is just a different angle on reality. And when we are able to see that we are all just different angles, not hierarchies, we can meet each other with compassion and empathy and love and experience that divine love that is available to us. I love you guys so much. And I will... right? That's a good one. Take what is useful, discard the rest, Bruce Lee. But with discernment, right? Gentle discernment. It doesn't have to be judgment, right? There's something about that quote that's like, there's a judgment. It's useful or it's not useful, and I throw it away. And that's it. I'm just playing semantics because I play semantics. I'm a Virgo sun. Yeah. But when we use discernment rather than judgment, right? If I say, this is for me and I'm going to keep it, and I'm just going to leave here whatever's not for me. I don't need to throw it away. I don't need to get rid of it. I don't need to judge it, say it's bad or anything like that, right? I'm not going to go into somebody else's live where they're talking about Christianity or from that perspective and go, oh, you are so wrong. Because you just have a different perspective, and that's okay, and that's beautiful. And in fact, I can value that without having to try to put it on me. It's your coat, your size, your color. If I try to put that on, it's not going to fit me. And so of course it's going to feel like, oh, I should be like, this coat is bad. It doesn't fit me. You don't go to somebody's birthday party, open their presents and be like, oh my gosh, this pink dress is so not my size and it's not my color. Why did you get this for me? This is what we do with the universe. With gifts that the universe bring to us, we pick them up and we look at them and we go, oh my God, this is totally terrible and bad. It's not even my size and it's whatever. And we complain about them. But we pick up gifts that are not even for us. The universe has gifts all around the world. There are opportunity and gifts for you to find wherever you go. But if something's not for you, you just leave it there. If a relationship's not for you and you keep feeling that, let it go. That's somebody else's partner that you're holding hostage. You're somebody else's whatever that they're holding hostage, right? We accept that life has its flow and that not everything is for us. And that by waiting for what is for us, inviting in what is for us, and simply just discerning, not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me. Instead of changing the universe, I change my perspective. And as I slowly change my perspective, I angle myself closer and closer to what I'm actually looking for my truth, for my dharma, for my karma, for my manifestation, for my purpose, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call it, whatever words you want to use. It's the same energy, my direction. And it's hard to find our direction when we're constantly saying shit, yes to shit that's not even on the path, not even for us. Thanks, Tanya. I really do too, because it seems so silly when you think about it, right? When you're in a relationship that's not working for you, instead of like struggling and trying to like force something to happen, look at it and go, oh my God, it's a pink fluffy dress and it's so not my size. That's okay. I'm going to put it back on the shelf and say, thank you so much for letting me try it on. It didn't fit me. I love you and I will see you later. Terrifying. Oh, yes, Sarah, times are changing. Everything. Thanks, little bits. I'm a storyteller, and a thespian, and there's a bunch of characters in here, and so we love analogies, we love stories, we love to use that kind of stuff because they put such a great like. Oh my gosh, of course I wouldn't go take somebody else's present from their birthday, but that's what we do with life. Thank you guys for all the follows. Farrell, judgment is not bad, it is necessary. Bad judgment is bad. I would simply just play semantics with you and say that discernment is necessary. Judgment is not. Judgment is, again, for me to say that something is bad or something is good. Somebody else's religion is bad because I don't agree with the tenets of it is a judgment. Somebody else's religion is not for me because I don't agree with the tenets of it. That's fine, right? That's discernment. That's not me placing a judgment and ultimately causing a an inability for me to be able to see their perspective. When I come at it as a judgment and say it's bad, I close myself off to learning and understanding what is the truth within that for them and why it's for them. This is one of the biggest skills that we have lost as like a collective, to be able to sit down and see people from two different, completely different perspectives and have a conversation about it without being triggered into some ego damage, like, oh, you're challenging my ego because your belief is different than mine. What? Why does where I stand challenge where you stand? Especially when we're completely opposite on the other sides of the planet. Like, we're literally not even in the same fucking room with the same beliefs. And somehow you're threatened because mine are different. Just because I see things differently, because I'm literally from the, like on the other side of the world, literally a completely different light, literally stuck in my subjective experience, of course I'm going to see things differently. We are not all going to agree on every single aspect, and to expect us to do so is to deny the authenticity that is the authentic expression of our divinity. God is not monotone, or black and white for that matter. I'm getting the dog's getting excited over here. So I think I do have to go because I've got a coaching session here at noon. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I love you, dog. Ashley! Yes, Tanya. Saved for the wrong reasons. We all do, because again, it's a very, like, so many of us are taught that you're supposed to just stick it out and try to do the thing that feels wrong. And to some degrees, yes, we want to challenge ourselves and push our edges and do things that may be new or scary, but not to the extent where we deny our truth. And that's a fine line. And that is the dance. That is the practice for each of us. I can't teach you how to do that, but I can give you the tools to develop the awareness so that you can catch yourself in those moments and make those choices. That's what we do. I can't live your life for you. I can't be your guru. I'm not your guru. You are your guru. You make those decisions. Nobody else can discern what's right for you and what's not, period. But you can't even discern what's right for you or what's not until you have the awareness to see that you're even making decisions in the first place. And we are constantly making choices. As humans, we all share one massive superpower, and it's the power of choice. In every moment, I have choices. Multiple choices. I may not like the choices. They may not be the best choices for me. They may not be the choices I had hoped for, but they are still choices. And if I make small choices in the direction of my authenticity, of my truth, of the things that I'm really looking for, especially, here's the last thing. If I'm trying to manifest, if I'm trying to be something different than I am, let's say if I'm trying to invite more abundance in my life, I would like a certain amount of financial security. Abso-fucking-lutely. Some amount of security so that I know that I'm not stressing out every time a bill comes, right? So, but let's say that I have no idea what that's like, that I have lived paycheck to paycheck, stressing over bill after bill after bill after bill my entire life. How do I manifest something that I have never seen or never experienced? With tiny little yeses. Because if I'm going bill to bill to bill to bill, I know that at least having 1 month where I'm not stressed about my bills is a step in that direction, yes? So then I get there and I go, oh, I did it. I had a month where I didn't stress about my bills. Okay, well, how can we get a little closer? Well, maybe it's this. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little less pressure, financial pressure, right? So maybe a little more this. And maybe you get some setback and you got to go back this way, right? Maybe it's a little this, maybe it's a little that. It's a wandering path. It's an exploration. It's a journey to find our dharma, to find our truth, to express our authenticity, to come home to ourselves, and ultimately come home to God. Come home to our divinity. Come home to the divinity that is expressed every day and every moment through us. We just like to cover it up with ego masks and characters and fancy clothes and fancy bling and all the things, right? I hear tattoos and all that. I do the same thing. We all do the same thing. We got these amazing canvases we get to work on. This is my temple. I get to take care of and treat my temple the way that I feel most like I want to most. And I may look back later on and be like, well, you know, maybe doing that thing wasn't exactly in line with how I really felt, but at that moment it was. And so I can look back and I can honor that part of myself and I can say, I love you for being who you are. And I love you for leaving your mark on the world, on my temple. To me, the mistakes that I've made are like the little marks on the wall where your kids are growing. Every time, leaving little notches in the wall of your temple, on your arms, on your legs, on your face, making you who you are, inside and out. Okay. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much, guys. So again, replays are always available on YouTube at Move with Change. Please at least go follow me over there, and go bug your friends to do so too, to follow me too. I really want to cultivate that channel so I can offer more of the Astro Live replays over there, some more astrology over there, and do the subscriber stuff over there too. So find replays over there. If you want to join us for group coaching or for those practice classes, if you want discounts on private coaching sessions, come join us over at the CAYA Sangha. If you want a free month to the CAYA Sangha to go figure out if it's for you or not, this is why I do a free month. I'm not sitting here trying to be like, you cannot see what's happening inside unless you pay me lots of money. No. I want you to come check it out. And if it fits for you, if it feels good, stay. If you can't stay because of the amount, $77 a month over at the watch out. I am not hard and fast. Is there an exchange necessary? Yes, absolutely. Changing with grace and gratitude, right? That I want you to be able to discern whether it's for you or not without feeling you and you need some flexibility. Let's talk. Just want the workshops, or you just want the, actually, I Sangha coaching only membership. So you would get for our twice weekly coaching sessions. You would not get access to the workshops. Private practice session on would get access to the coaching. So there's different levels of getting in there and different ways to connect. I also coaching by donation. It's 10-15 minute sessions, and that coaching by donation space one-on-one and have a conversation. It's pay what you want. I also offer free consultations too. So if you want to just hop on a phone call and be like, I don't know what to do. This is where I'm at. What do you think I should do? I can't pay that, but I can pay this. And maybe I want that. I don't know. I'm just fucking lost. Okay. Let's go get a call, right? Free consult. So that's also available on Move with Change. Also, you can email me. Also, you can message me. Also, you can do all the things. If you subscribe here, you get your free month. So you can go check it out and be like, yes, or no, it's fine. I love you guys so much. Thank you again. Go watch the replays if you missed any of it. And I will see you subscribers tonight on the Astrology Live. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, subscriber only, no preview. So if you want to get it on your natal chart, come. All right. I love you too, Ashley. I love all of you, and I will see you guys. Have a great day.